everyone. I'm Minnie Bishop. I am your state level Justice Reform Coordinator, and I am so excited to be your host today for our celebration session. Wow. Can you guys believe it's already been 6 months and we're here at the celebration session? I am just in awe of everything that has happened so far. And of course, we want to start this off by saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for participating in this journey with us. The Florida Youth Justice Commission put out a call to action, and boy, did you guys answer the call. Our theme this 6 months was moving from passion to action. And so for the last 6 months, you all have participated in webinars and race impact conversations and collaborative meetings. We did a podcast along the way. And so the Justice Reform team and I, we thought that we would like to start this celebration session off by simply going down memory lane. So why don't we go ahead and start by taking a look at our journey over the last 6 months. Enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is LaTanya Taylor, and welcome to the Race for Change.
That is an opportunity that this moment has given us. That is an opportunity that the secretary and all the wonderful teammates who put this together have given you. The moment to pause and ask ourselves, is there something better out there? Is there something that looks like progress? And we have to seize that opportunity. We have to seize this responsibility because this is our legacy. You want to be remembered as someone who gave voice to the voiceless, power to the powerless. You want to be someone who was remembered when the time got tough, you pulled out your sword and your shield and you stood courageously. You want to be remembered as someone who is one of the new civil rights leaders of our time.
The point is this. We normally surround ourselves with people who think like us, who may look like us, who've had shared experiences. And the point is that in order to also tap into our implicit bias, we need to go from the familiar to the unfamiliar.
So these systems treat us differently, and basically it's about us looking at the structures that are within them. We owe it to ourselves to look at it because it doesn't just affect one, it affects us all.
This is a continual process to evaluate and assess the effectiveness of your implemented changes to see if you're reaching the intended outcomes. Keep in mind, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and we are in this for the long haul for system change for race equity. Let's look one last time over each of the 7 steps. Remember that these steps are the framework for your local collaborative group as we work on race equity in our communities. Step 1, establish an understanding of race equity and inclusion principles. Everyone will receive the full action guide and is expected to review all of the core concepts. We want to ensure clear communication in our collaborative group. Step 2, engage affected populations and stakeholders. Make sure that you have all the necessary people at the table who represent your community. If not, make sure you continue to invite those that are missing and continue to find ways to empower their voice. Step 3, gather and analyze disaggregated data. Utilizing data as your starting point to guide all of your action steps in this process so we are all starting from the same set of facts. Step 4, conduct systems analysis of root causes of inequality. That's your data digging to determine the why. Step 5, identify strategies and target resources to address root causes of inequality. Once you identify the root cause, you start strategizing solutions. Step 6, conduct race equity impact assessment for all policies and decision making. Use this guide as you're looking at solutions to maximize your chances of success. And step 7, continuously evaluate effectiveness and adapt strategies. This is not a one and done. This will be a continual process for you and your collaborative group.
So I love this quote. Maybe we are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. The reason why this is so important, because the work around race equity, I like to see it as tree work, because our focus, particularly around justice reform, is on the branches. What we can equality is the first one. Everyone receives the same thing. It promotes fairness and justice by giving everyone the same thing. Equity, however, gives people access to the same opportunities, but it changes something because it gives them what they need to access those opportunities. So it's a matter of fairness. Justice, however, is concerned about access in terms of how you actually get to the game. And so justice is having the systemic barrier removed. And in this instance, in this illustration, that is defense. I always tell my colleagues around race equity that the work around justice, the work around trying to get to measurable results, that's removing that fence.
Well, suspending and expelling students leaves students out of the one child serving agency or system that we want our youth to be in, and that would be the education system. Children belong in the education system. I think we can all agree with that.
What comes from our ability and our capacity to go towards conflict, to understand what might be driving the behavior. And a lot of times we only, if we were to see an iceberg, we only see 15% of a human being, and we often see that in behavior, and that's all that we're addressing. Get out of the classroom, go to juvenile detention, go to jail or prison, without really understanding what all those factors are.
If we are going to create safe and affirming environments for kids, we have to be understanding of how to be responsive to all their identities. This work is so important, and to be able to build these positive, inclusive, and safe environments, we have to be intentional about supporting all forms of a child's identity, and you all can have an impact.
I want to share a quote from the ACLU director in Massachusetts, Rashawn Hall. And he said, "It's easy to point out the person that's obviously doing racist things. It's harder to have a conversation about the people who are maintaining systems of oppression. And until we get to that and start teasing that apart, there's really not going to be any substantive change."
Through action. That key piece is through action. It's an ongoing thing. Once you've reached, you don't just put one thing into place and say, we've done a good deed, we've done what we're supposed to do, but it's an ongoing practice. Wow. So much wisdom, so much knowledge, 6 months of webinars, podcasts, collaborative meetings, all compacted into 7 minutes. You guys are awesome. Thank you to every presenter, to every podcast interviewee, to every collaborative member, to every state level member that decided to watch the webinars and take the lessons learned back to their respective organizations. We couldn't have done any of this without you. So I know what you're thinking. Minnie, we came to see who was going to win the awards. Can you stop stalling and get to the awards? No problem. We're going to present 4 awards this evening. We have the Breakthrough Award, the Breakthrough Video Award, voted on by you, the viewers. We've got the Policy Practice Improvement Award, the Scalability Award, and the Innovations Award. So, are you guys ready to see who's won some of the awards? I know I am. So we're going to begin with our Breakthrough Video Award, which was voted on by you, the viewers. this is our version of the Viewer's Choice Award. And we had 5 submissions for this award. Circuit 2, Circuit 7, Circuit 8, Circuit 18, and Circuit 19 all submitted videos. And you guys in the collaboratives voted on the video that you liked the best. Now, let me say, this was a very, very tight competition. Every time the votes came in, a different person emerged as the winner. But who ultimately ended up taking the prize? Well, the winner is
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Congratulations to Circuit 2 for winning the Best Breakthrough Video Award. If you'd like to see Circuit 2's video, it is currently on our website and will continue to be on our website with all of the winners from today. Each member from the Circuit 2 Collaborative will receive a trophy that looks just like the one that's presented on the screen. So congratulations to Circuit 2 for winning the Best Breakthrough Video Award. Our next awards are all based on the proposals that you all submitted. We had several proposals submitted from collaboratives across the state, and we had 5 individuals volunteer to be a part of the proposal review panel to read every single one of those proposals and meet with representatives from each collaborative to discuss the proposals in more detail to make sure that they understood the information and the idea that was being shared. And so, of course, at this moment, we want to stop and thank our panel review team. They were Ms. Heather DiGiacomo from the Department of Juvenile Justice, Deputy Secretary, Mr. Paul Hatcher, Assistant Secretary for Probation for DJJ, Ms. Nikki Zinn, she's an Academic Director at the University of South Florida, Mr. William C. Daniels, who was a Race for Change interviewee for the podcast and also a panel reviewer for our judging panel. He came to us from the United States Attorney's Office. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Charlene G., who is a director at SEDNet. Thank you for all of the time that you spent reading proposals and discussing those proposal ideas with the circuit representatives. So let's get to our first proposal award, which is our Policy and Practice Improvement Award. So this award was given to the circuit that the panel felt had the best idea for improving an existing policy, practice, or program to create a greater sense of equity in their circuit. Wondering who the winner is? So am I. Let's check it out. The winner is...
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
Congratulations, Circuit 12. Congratulations on winning the Policy and Practice Improvement Award. I know what you guys are thinking. Minnie, what was their proposal? No worries, I got you covered. So Circuit 12 focused on the reduction of disproportionality at the arrest decision point. During their analysis, the collaborative realized that misdemeanor assault and batteries were amongst the largest of the arrest referrals in their circuit in calendar year 18-19. As they looked at these numbers a little bit deeper, they realized that Black youth only made up 12% of their population, but accounted for 49% of these misdemeanor arrests. They also noted that fewer youth were receiving civil citations for this type of offense than they'd like to see. So as a result, the law enforcement agencies in Circuit 12 have committed to modifying their civil citation policies related to battery, as well as some other misdemeanor offenses. Circuit 12 has committed to working towards a more streamlined approach to handling civil citations, as a circuit-wide initiative. Additionally, Circuit 12 is creating a resource guide to educate both law enforcement and community members on the community-based services that are available when there's conflicts in the home. The goal is to provide families with the resources that can be used to de-escalate or resolve conflict prior to the situation becoming an imminent threat. The resource guide will be distributed with a focus on reaching the youth and families of color. Way to go, Circuit 12. We are all very proud of you. So, throughout history, young people have been at the forefront of change. Even in the past few years, even here in Florida, we've seen lots of young people, high school, college students, speak up against gun violence and emerge as champions for race, equity, and inclusion issues. As the state level coordinator, I had the opportunity to sit in on collaboratives throughout the state to see what was going on and make sure the process was going well. When I got to the Circuit 8 team, this young man stood out by far. He's currently a graduate student who decided to join the Race Equity Collaborative in his area. And in a full collaborative of leaders in law enforcement and probation and schools, he was not afraid to make sure his voice was being heard. Ultimately, I saw this young man emerge as a leader, taking charge of drafting the proposal, even Circuit 8's video submission, and acting as the representative for the panel review for their proposal. So I just couldn't see going through this celebration session without recognizing him as a future young leader in this work. So I hope you guys don't mind, but I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge Mr. Jose Alvarez from Circuit 8's collaborative team. And I wanted to take a second to just talk to him a moment and hear his insights as we go through this celebration session. Jose, would you mind joining me?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm so excited. It's such an honor to be here. First off, can we go ahead and give Miss Minnie Bishop a round of applause? Just a regular round of applause. She has made this whole thing happen. I also want to give a shout out while you gave me the floor, Minnie, to thank auntie. She doesn't know this yet, but that she's my auntie, but throughout every Zoom call, it felt like a family reunion. So Miss LaTanya Taylor, who was our facilitator, I've never met her in the flesh, but I feel like I said, we was at a family barbecue every time we had a Zoom meeting. So shout out to my auntie, Miss LaTanya Taylor, and all of Circuit 8. Thanks for having me, Minora.
Awesome. I'm so excited to see you and so excited to talk to you. Like I said, you are amazing. You are definitely a leader, and I can't wait to see what all comes from Jose Alvarez. I just wanted to take a moment just to pick your brain for our audience. First, why did you even decide to join the Florida Race Equity Challenge?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Whenever when you sent me that question, I was like, I quickly thought about Russell Westbrook. He has a shoe line, and the shoe line is called Why Not? And I wanted to reverse that question. Why wouldn't Jose Alvarez want to be part of a collaborative effort to bring change into his backyard? Like, why wouldn't I want to bring passion and action together and be a part of a village that is bringing change? And so whenever I saw the Race Equity Challenge come across my computer screen, it was a no-brainer. Like, I needed to be a part of this because, especially in our climate today, it's something that we all needed to be a part of. And as a young leader or future leader, as you call me, I had to do this now, even at 25 years old.
I love it. I love it. So what would you say to some other young people who really feel passionate about equity and inclusion issues, but feel like no one's going to listen to them? What advice would you give them?
So I want to speak to two groups of young people. My first group of young person is, I feel like either you're afraid that your voice doesn't matter because of past history. And what I mean by that is maybe you've spoken up before, but you didn't see change. And I want to let every single young person know, and honestly, anyone watching this video today, that the same day you plant the tree is not the same day you eat its fruit. And so as we use our voice, we're planting seeds. And some seeds are going to land on rocky ground, others are going to land on fertile soil. We don't get to decide that, but what we do get to decide is when and where and how we're going to use our voice. And I really feel like now is the time where we should be using our voice. The second group of people that I want to talk to is the ones who don't know how valuable their voice is. And I think that person doesn't realize that they're born with three things. You're born with the gift, you're born with the skill, and you're born with a calling. When you're able to combine your gifts, the skills, and your calling together, you will blow up. You will be fierce. You will take over. You know, you will bring change. I saw this quote that really inspired me, and I sent it to my best friend, and it says, when you operate in your gift, you don't have to be at the head of the table. For wherever you sit or stand, the table and room will shift.
Come on. Yes, sir. I love it. One last question for you. What advice would you give Florida's leaders? You have the floor. All sorts of leaders from all across the state are listening. What advice would you give them as they continue to move forward this race equity work in our state?
Yeah, something that I've been blessed to have three guys in my life, Joel, Jeff, and Ashley, and every time we link up, we have fun and everything. But one of the biggest things that stands out each time we're together is we continue to empower one another to be great leaders. And we learned, all three of us, all four of us, we talk about the only way that we will continue to be great leaders is by first being great servants. And so servant leadership is the biggest philosophy that I live around. If you want to be a great leader, you must be a great servant. So all of our leaders across the state of Florida, we need to be able to get messy. We need to be a part of these conversations that we were with the Florida Race and Equity Challenge these last 6 months. The people that we are serving, we must meet them where they are. Yes, we have paperwork and things that keeps us from really connecting with the people we're trying to serve. But it's time, if Florida wants to move forward and DJJ wants to be the top institution or the top organization that other states gets to look at, then we need to be seen out in our community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose, for taking the time to be a part of the challenge and for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate you. And if there's anything that the Florida Youth Justice Commission, myself, or of course, Ms. Taylor can do to help move along the projects that you have going on, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you, everybody that helped make this vision come to life. I hope you all have a blessed day. Woo!
Thank you. All right, let's go to some more awards. The next award is our Scalability Award. Our Scalability Award is given to the circuit whose proposal was the most scalable, whose idea we felt could easily be replicated to reshape policies, practices, and programs statewide. So, who's the winner? Let's find out together. And the winner is...
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Congratulations to Circuit 19. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So here's a little bit about what Circuit 19's proposal was. The Circuit 19 Race Equity Team also focused on the arrest rates and zeroed in on the civil citation utilization. The team's question that they posed to themselves was, why was youth of color not being offered civil citation for certain eligible misdemeanor offenses? In digging deeper into their analysis, what they discovered is that the answer to that question was very difficult to understand, as the reasons for non-issuance for law enforcement weren't so easy to find. So they made it their mission to figure out how to streamline this and reduce the number of arrests for which they could not identify the reason why law enforcement did not issue the civil citation. The circuit team committed to creating a training video for civil citation that will be used for law enforcement agencies across their circuit so that current and new officers can better understand the importance of civil citation and learn how to issue the civil citation in a more efficient manner. In addition to the training, Circuit 19's law enforcement agencies have agreed to include the issuances of civil citations and or the clear documentation of reasons for non-issuances of civil citations in their existing incentive programs for law enforcement officers. Circuit 19 Collaborative has committed themselves to ensuring an increase in civil citations across their circuit, reducing the disproportionality in misdemeanor arrests, and creating partnerships that will create more equitable practices throughout their circuit. Circuit 19, we salute you. Congratulations for winning the Scalability Award. Our last award for today is our Innovations Award. The Innovations Award is given to the circuit who created a new policy, practice, or program that was designed to create a greater sense of equity. So who won the Innovations Award? Let's find out together. And the winner is... Congratulations to Circuit 2 for winning the coveted Innovations Award. Circuit 2's Race Equity Collaborative began this challenge with a focus on the arrest decision as well. While Black youth make up 40% of the population in Circuit 2, they make up 80% of their arrest rates and all the other decision points that follow. During their exploration, they discovered the majority of arrests occurred in specific zip codes and actually between the hours of noon and 6 p.m. They also noted that their civil citation rates were not as high as they would like, and their arrests for technical probation reasons were a lot higher than they would like to see them. These facts led to a very deep discussion about the quality of partnerships with parents. Law enforcement noted that one of the requirements of civil citation is that parents have to agree for youth to be in the program, and they had a large number of parents that refused to allow their kids to participate. Our probation partners on the collaborative noted the complications in gaining parent partnerships to allow for successful probation experiences for youth. And our court representatives actually talked about the struggle to have parent participation in court proceedings as well. This led the Circuit 2 team to decide that they wanted to hear the perspectives of the youth and the parents in those areas. So they held several focus groups, some with DJJ involved youth and parents, and some with non-DJJ involved youth and parents, to try to figure out what the variances might be that would allow them to figure out what the best plan of action is. What they learned was that both sets of parents and kids actually were dealing with some of the same issues for school-related, mental health, frustrations with kids' behaviors. They all looked very similar. The difference seemed to be the level of knowledge of DJJ parents around services and resources that could actually be helpful to them and their kids long-term, and the level of trust for asking for help from those systems. So as a result, Circuit 2 is actually preparing to launch its Parent Navigator program. What is that? That is a program that is going to be hosted by a community organization that sits in the area codes that have the highest zip codes, where they will connect parents to be mentors to other parents. They will connect parents to help them navigate through mental health services, through school issues, through understanding the benefits of civil citations and diversion, and so much more. The idea here is to really create a much better partnership between parents and our systems in order to result in a greater sense of equity and reduction in some of the disproportionality in arrests that we see while increasing civil citations. So congratulations to Circuit 2 for your Innovations Award. And again, just like all the other awards, all of the members of each collaborative will receive a trophy that looks like the one that we have displayed today. I don't know about you guys, but I am amazed at what has happened in just 6 months and the work that we see from the proposals that we've highlighted. I cannot wait to see what happens next year. And while I am floored about all of the work that we've put forth, I'm sure Secretary Marstiller has some thoughts herself. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Secretary of the Department of Juvenile Justice, Ms. Simone Marstiller.
Well, thank you so much, Minnie. I'm sitting here, you guys, and I am blown away. I am blown away, quite candidly, by the work that you all have put in, the really innovative and creative solutions that you all have come up with. This is fantastic, and I'm going to find a way to get a lot of this word out, because I think that the groups who put so much time and research and effort and conversation into these projects, you all need to be celebrated far and wide, in my opinion. This Race Equity Challenge, first, I have so many people that I want to thank for bringing this all together. First, the Youth Justice Commission for even having the idea and pushing the concept. What an amazing thing. I don't think that anything like this has been done or is being done in any state other than Florida. We are so far ahead of the curve in trying to bring down the racial and ethnic disparities in the juvenile justice system. So I'm so grateful to have such committed people sitting on the Youth Justice Commission who have the vision and have the passion for this work and for achieving the results. Second, I want to thank all of the individuals who presented, who spoke, who, enlightened us and helped get us to the point where we can start really, and you guys have done it, where we can start looking critically at the decisions we make and how we make them, and to change the way we do what we do. I think one of the major factors that's so important, takeaways, at least for me, for the challenge, is that the work that you all have done, the things that you've learned, the conversations that you've had, the programs that you've come up with, these are all things that are going to be embedded in the process moving forward. And that is, to me, that is a big thing, if that is the main thing that we try to accomplish with the Race Equity Challenge, is to change our practices, change our way of thinking, change our decision-making processes. And I do firmly believe that the changes you all have made and are making are going to be embedded in our system long after we are all gone. The work that you've done these last 6 months is going to live on and be successful and continue to generate positive change in the juvenile justice system. I do want to make a quick shout out to young Mr. Alvarez. He's wise beyond his years. I don't know if he's still on, but Mr. Alvarez is wise beyond his years. I love his passion. I love his commitment. And I am certain that we're going to see much more from young Mr. Alvarez in the years and decades to come in the state of Florida, if not nationally, if he's not careful. So just wanted to thank him for his very enthusiastic message this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
You are here. Yay.
Anything that I could do, Florida, I'm born and raised here, so I don't plan on leaving the state anytime soon. So I look forward to seeing you in the flesh one day, Secretary.
I will look forward to that as well. Thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing. This program, I also want to thank, of course, the individuals who took the time and gave the effort to get this work done, and that is the hundreds of men and women across the state of Florida representing all of our stakeholder groups. I don't think that there is one stakeholder group that wasn't included in this group of challenge takers, right? So our public defenders, our state attorney's offices, the courts, the U.S. Attorney's Office, schools, guardian ad litem, providers, staff, everybody has gotten involved in this effort. And I want to thank each and every one of you for caring enough to give your time, to give your thoughts and your creativity and your commitment to this effort. And as I said before, to making change that is going to be embedded in the process and in what we do moving forward. I thank you so much for making this Race Equity Challenge a success. And finally, I would be remiss if I did not thank the folks from DJJ, led by Miss Minnie Bishop, who worked very hard to put this entire program together. They not only did content, but they chose your speakers and your presenters, came up with this incredible format at a time when COVID threw us all a curveball. But I believe that this is probably a format that worked so much better than we ever could have envisioned. And I am so very, very proud of and thankful for the men and women inside DJJ who put this on. You guys are amazing. And, you know, I'll give you some time off for the holidays for your hard work, but you all have just been wonderful. Minnie, you are a rock star for pulling all of this together and managing the process and leading your team. And I hope that you are proud of the work you all have done with the Race Equity Challenge. You know, I will just leave you with, again, my heartfelt thanks for everything that has been done for this program. I look forward to seeing the results of the programs and plans that are put in place by the circuit teams who won awards here today. Congratulations. We will certainly be checking in with you from time to time to see how things are going. But I have no doubt that your efforts will be successful and that everything that has been done here over the last 6 months is going to result in a much more equitable juvenile justice system for our children. It's going to change and improve lives. And after all, that's why we're all here doing what we do. Thank you all so much again. I'm very proud of the work that's been done here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Secretary, for your support of this work. Your support goes so much farther than I think you even know. So we appreciate you. All right, guys. The last thing we want to do is talk about what's next for 2021. Hope you didn't think it was over. But before I do that, as the Secretary said, there is a group of individuals that put together so much. They held so many jobs. And people are thanking me, but this thing does not happen without 5 individuals we call the Justice Reform Team. And they did not know I was going to do this. And they were trying to get back here behind the panels to help me. And I would not let them, so that they have no control over me doing what I'm about to do. But to Ira Thomas, Ash Baca, Karen Butterfield, Natalie Steiner, and LaTanya Taylor, we thank you for everything you've done. They held so many jobs, as the Secretary said. They were graphic designers and facilitators and producers and script writers and PowerPoint putting together, all this stuff. It doesn't happen without those 5 individuals. So I'd like to take a moment just to thank them for everything that they've done.
Oh, we think you're great. We think you're grand. We want to walk into the sunset, holding your hand. We think you rock, top notch indeed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best, and I appreciate everything that you do. Any leader knows that having an amazing team to work with is awesome, and I am so proud to have such an amazing team of people to work with. So before we end today, what's next for 2021? Hope you didn't think it was over. To us, the challenge was really a launching point, right? So it may be officially ending, but the work is just beginning. We had circuits submit proposals, but not every circuit got to do that. And it wasn't because that they weren't working hard, but some circuits needed some more time to develop their ideas for what they wanted to propose. Our ultimate goal is to launch collaboratives around the state who are going to work hard and be committed to this process over time. Because as one of the speakers says, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? And we want to make Florida the model state for race equity that other states can learn from. And so our team has already started thinking about 2021. And we've decided that we will be offering some webinars throughout the year next year. And our focus for next year, as you guys have heard, we interviewed Jose about his voice. One of the core components of the 7 steps is making sure you have all the right voices at your collaborative. And so we've decided that the theme for next year will be advancing race equity through the elevation of youth and family voice. And so periodically throughout the year, we will offer live webinars with experts on this topic from various angles of that particular theme. And then we will look for proposals around race equity in November again, and look to do another award ceremony in December of next year. We'll also be checking in with the circuits along the way, because while it may be one of the circuits that won an award today that has the biggest impact on race equity, it may be one of the other circuits. And so we'd like to check in and see where our award winners are, but we'd also like to check in with any circuit that makes a huge impact on race equity over the course of next year and highlight their success. We want to continue to work together, continue to congratulate each other on our accomplishments, and continue to learn from each other along the way to make our state the best it can be. So stay tuned for our announcements of webinars for 2021 as we've already begun to plan and try to schedule speakers. And we look forward to continuing to work with you and your collaboratives all next year. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. We will post all of the awards and all of the winning proposals to our website so you can read every single proposal that won in detail if you'd like, hopefully by the end of the week. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for participating in the Race Equity Challenge, and happy holidays to everyone. Bye-bye now.